Ciao Bella! Welcome to Bello and Ginetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. We are here for me to give you my March liberal arts mal update for what I managed to get done in the month of March. So, if you don't know what the liberal arts mal is, I started this in January of 2026. And every month, I give you a genre of a book that you need to have read at some point. And in the month that I give you the genre, you need to make something that inspires you from that book. Now, if you want to read the book and do the project in the same month, fine. But not everybody reads at the same speed. So I didn't want to create a ton of pressure, and I wanted it to kind of be lighthearted and easily accessible. So it can be a book that you've read in the past, but the project has to be started and completed by the end of the month that I give the genre. Okay? So it can be a book you read when you were a kid. It doesn't really matter to me as long as the project that you're inspired by the book, you do that project in the month that I give the genre. Okay? So, there are prizes every month, and then if you have been participating all year long, you will be entered into another giveaway for the prize for the year. Okay? So, this month, I challenged myself to do 2 books because I wanted to give you guys an idea of some of the things that you could do with this genre, because it's not necessarily an easily accessible one, right? So this month I chose travel literature. Now, that could be a guidebook if you wanted to use something like Rick Steves, or if you went to a certain place. For example, when I went to um, Tintagel, and uh, Sam from Memphis Makes got me this guidebook of Tintagel, right? And it had all of these beautiful pictures and all of this information. I could have used that if I wanted. Um, if you are planning to go somewhere and you've purchased a travel book to get some ideas, you could use that. Or you could use a book where someone goes on a journey, right? Where someone in the book travels. So I chose that route, but I did it 2 different ways, right? So I chose 2 books. One was Darling Girl, and this is a take on the Peter Pan story. It was very interesting. I really enjoyed this book. I'm not going to give anything away, and I'll show you what I made in just a little bit. But this was one book because this is more of a fantasy travel. They travel to a different realm. Um, there's lots to grasp in here, but it is a very, very interesting story. Okay? The other book that I chose, this book made me cry, like sobbing. I was sobbing. Sobbing. Do you hear me? So sad. Oh my God. But this is from scratch. This is a true story. Um, and it is based on this couple, right? They get married. They meet in Italy, Florence, and they meet in Florence, Italy, and he is Sicilian, she is American. Um, she moves, he moves to America. A whole bunch of stuff happens, right? Um, but his family does not approve of their marriage, and um, there's some arguments and things. Well, then uh, they travel to Sicily, right? And not once, not twice, but 3 times. Okay? And every time they travel to Sicily is a different experience. So I thought that this would be another really great example of something that you could do. Now, I am still getting entries, and when this video drops, there is still time, right? So this video is going to drop on Friday. I'm just going to have to fuse these videos together because I went to click on the calendar March, and I minimized the camera and the camera went away. Giving you the right. Anyway, no big deal. We're just going to roll with it. Okay, cool. Yeah, the 27th. That's Friday. 27th of March. So this video is going to air on the 27th of March. You do still have 1, 2, 3, 4 days after this video airs to get your entries in. And it does not have to be fiber arts related, your make, right? The book doesn't have to be fiber arts related, none of that, right? So you do still have time to get it in. So both of these books, wildly different stories, wildly different emotions. I was kind of upset at some of the characters in this book. I cried so hard. And now I do want to go and watch. There is a Netflix series about this. I don't know if it's still there, but I do want to go watch it. I have heard that it is not the same as the book, which happens. It happens. Usually aggravates me, but it happens. So, we'll see. But I am excited for both of these makes to show you both of them. Neither of them are crochet, to be honest. I have crocheted this month, but I don't know. I've got a lot going on in my brain. I've had a lot to do to get ready for my birthday party that I had in my house, which was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. And I was always doing something this month to prepare for it, which I'm grateful for. Don't get me wrong. We had a good time. We had a really good time. But that was a lot. It was a lot of planning and shopping and cooking and prepping and cleaning because I have a cat, and then we were pet sitting. My daughter was pet sitting 2 cats, and there were a couple people that were coming that were very allergic to cats. So we had to make sure that we kind of kept them put away, especially for the party, because we had the door open for people to go in and out. And we had to clean. And then we had to cook so much food. As of making this video, I'm still eating leftover food from the party. And people took things home. So, yeah. Anyway, that's not why you're here. You're here to see what I made. But, all of that to say, I have crocheted this month, but neither one of my projects are crochet. Okay? So, we'll start with Darling Girl. Get that book out. So, in this book, there were a couple of times where plants are mentioned. Some of them are flowers, some of them are not flowers. Some of them happen in what we would call the real world, and some of them happen in this fantasy world, right, where Peter Pan is. And that got me to thinking that my daughter, who has a ton of art supplies, has this set of bookmarks that are watercolor. And they have... Hold on, I'm going to go get the booklet. I'll show you. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the little booklet, and in it you have different bookmarks, and it comes with the paint on the side, and then on the back there's your little brush. So this is travel friendly. It's nice to have. My daughter has explored lots of different kinds of painting. She does not like watercolor at all. Mainly because it takes a long time, and she doesn't have the patience to try to get the control of the color. But it's okay. To each their own. She prefers oils and acrylic. That's her paints of choice. So again, my daughter is not using something. I commandeered it. And because of all of the plant descriptions and all of that, I thought that this was a really good one to do. And this was the bookmark that I painted. If you can see it. Let me turn on this other light and maybe you can see it a bit better. Okay, that's better, yes. Okay, so this is the bookmark that I painted. And I am going to laminate it. I have some self-sealing pouches, so I thought that I would do a couple of them and put them in the self-sealing pouch, because it's not quite an 8.5 by 11. It's a little bit shorter than that. I don't know. Anyway, but I might put a couple of them in there, and then they'll all be sealed so that if they get wet, if they get whatever, but they'll be protected, right? So that was what I made from that. Okay, it was very calming, very peaceful, excuse me, to do. And I did not find the colors too difficult to get off the side. But I did find that I ran out. So I wanted to make the leaves a little bit darker, but I ran out of green. So that's a little unfortunate. I wanted to make sure I got all of the leaves green, but then I ran out of green. So that's kind of a bummer. But otherwise, I like it. I think it's great. And once I laminate it, maybe I'll use it in some of my other books, right? Okay, so that's that one. For from scratch, this one, I used one of my Happy Mail Advent kits. So that is another thing that I'm a part of. And last year was the year of the kit. So we did crafting kits. And I had two partners. I had Christine from Christina's Crocheting, and I had Antoinette at Hook and Stitch Island Style. And Antoinette is the person who is spearheading the Happy Mail Advent project to begin with. So I got double the kits, and I had to send double the kits, which was fine. But I'm saying that because I don't remember who sent me this kit. I want to say it was Antoinette, but maybe it was Christine, because it was an Etsy kit. I remember it was from Etsy. I still have the box, but I didn't have the paper that came with it to say who sent it. So I'm sorry. You can tell me if you watch it in the comments who it was. But it was the pottery kit. So you were supposed to make a vase out of this clay. It was air dry clay. So that's exactly what I did. Mine does not look like the picture. The picture showed a terracotta colored pot, tray and vase. Mine was not that. It was gray clay, not orange. So that was a little frustrating. However, I think the gray helped make the color choice that I did pop a little bit more, because if I had tried to paint this over the orange, I don't know that it would have turned out. So I was inspired to do this from this book from scratch. And what I did is I made a vase and a tray, right? And I have some little Sicilian lemons on it. Lemons are a very, very big deal in Sicily, as are oranges. Blood oranges in particular, but oranges nonetheless. They grow regular oranges as well, but blood oranges are very, very special here. So my vase is a little wonky. It was not as thick as it needed to be in some places, and then in trying to hold it, it got mashed, and it's not perfect. Guys, I wasn't trying to make it perfect. I would have messed with this until it fell apart if I tried to make it perfect. So I just left it. And I made 3 sets of lemons because I was gonna put like lemons, lemons, lemons all the way around. But because of this little dent right here, I couldn't get them to stick. So, because I was gonna put like here here and then over here, right? So I was gonna do 3 all the way around, but I couldn't get it to stick. So I just put some on the tray, and then I put some on the vase, and then when I put this on here, it sits just fine, right? It sits just fine on there. And my thought was, once I get some sort of sealant, because I would hate for this to get wet or something like that, but I want to get some bleep, 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 that's all, folks. I want to get some sort of sealant and seal this, and then I can use it for crochet hooks. I can use it for stitch markers. I can use it for whatever, right? But in the book, okay, what inspired me, right, is the mother. So his mother, right, always had flowers in her kitchen, and there are a couple of events in the story that require flowers. Um, and then, of course, the lemons. The lemons are a big, big deal. My friend suggested the blue color so on the background because that is a big deal. Like the blue background with the yellow lemons kind of makes it pop, right? I was going to do a different color, but she was like, no, blue really makes it pop. You should think about doing blue. And I did it in acrylic paint. So it's just acrylic paint. And I used the little tools that came with the kit to cut out all of the shapes. They are really rough, guys. I should have sanded them. I should have done all kinds of things. They are super glued on there. My friend who suggested the blue, right? She does pottery. She used to have her own pottery business. And she was like, oh, well, because I was like, I made the lemons, da da da. And she was like, oh, well, you really need to score them and put them on now. Otherwise, you'll have to super glue them when they dry. And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I don't know exactly where I want to place them. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if they're going to fit. Like, I'd rather just super glue them. And she was like, no, that's completely fine. Just know that once you do that, you're going to have to seal it. I have to seal it anyway, but it might be a little bit harder to seal. And I was like, well, one, I'm not professional. Two, it's not going anywhere, right? It's staying with me. So whatever happens, happens. But I am happy that I got another kit used because I got 26 kits. And I've used a lot of them, right? But I still have one. Oh, the beginning of the year, I did this choose my craft thing, and I still haven't made that crochet kit. I'm hoping now that my party's over and all of those things, I can focus on doing more crochet. We'll see what happens. But I absolutely love this. I think it's adorable. It's not perfect, and that's fine. But that's what I made from this book. Okay, so be on the lookout for the April genre video to come out next week, and let me know in the comments if this is something that you would be interested in joining. If you have any travel literature that, even if you're not joining, if you have books or you have books about travel or books about people taking a journey, all kinds of things, um, what would you what would you like to share? If you are participating, please don't forget you can post your project in my Facebook group. You can email me your picture, or you can post it on the community tab. Now, remember, when you send it to me, you need to send me the title of the book, a picture of your project, and what inspired you from the book to make the project. Okay? That's key. You can't just send me a picture and say, I did it based on this book. Okay, but why? That's my favorite question in the world. Okay, but why? Why? Why did you do that? That's part of the process. That's part of the mal. You have to tell me why. If you don't tell me why, then you didn't complete all of the things that you need to complete to get your name in for the giveaway. Okay? Um, is there anything else I need to tell you? no, I think that's it. Um, but let me know, like I said in the comments, if you're participating. Um, there's still time to send things in if you have not finished it yet. I am being very, very vigilant this time. I'm checking my spam folder repeatedly to make sure I'm not missing anything because I missed some people last month and I was devastated that I did that. I did post them on my community tab, but they were not entered in the giveaway, and I feel so terrible. Both of them said not to feel terrible, but I do feel terrible because I try really, really hard not to do things like that. Um, anyway, so I'm gonna let you go, and next week you will have my craft yourself free totals with my whips and FOs video. You will have the April genre and maybe a book look, I think, because I'm pre-recording. So we'll see what happens. Okay? So until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!